another thing that we can be very, can easily be done, on text we open it up and start talking about it, oh, implied, etc. But students don't necessarily know what we are talking about. We today have had some discussion about what do you mean? Is it this or is it that? Our language around it is not precise as adults. So you can create the understanding of what inference is and the language around it at the sentence level, and of course you want to make sure that it is in context and it is in text. Over here there was a really great professional conversation about what words would you actually use to say it? What is the question you're asking? And you might have to ask one question, get a certain response, and then ask another question and get a certain response to bring out the information. What is the actual question that you would ask? Precise knowledge, precise language that teachers use in order to be precise and be clear about our teaching purpose with our students. Any other insights or anything else that you discussed? Yeah.
I just wanted to pick up on someone's point. It's a really good opportunity to actually say, how did you get that inference? And if you actually look at the key words, they're going to give you the inference. So, and the nouns and verbs, which tells you what the whole opportunity to actually,
Yep.
so hit the main points.
The nouns and the verbs, and the role of nouns and verbs.
I take a lot for granted. I mean, I've been teaching for 30 and 40 years. It wasn't until a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, that I actually understood the link between fluency and comprehension.
Yep.
Now, when we're actually saying the kids aren't doing that well with comprehension, I don't know that
We didn't.
We
No.
didn't teach, like,
No.
we didn't teach, we just know what they can't do, but how do we fix it? Well,
Yes, and that's that point earlier this morning about what do teachers need to know. They need deep content knowledge. They need to understand the research. What are we doing and why are we doing it? And then how do we actually teach it? What are we doing and why are we doing it? Who's it for? Which students? And how long will you use that particular approach with those students? And will it be in small or whole or partner or individual or a mix of them? And then monitoring it for change over time. That is the point, and our coming together here and having conversations so that we are sharing together and building up our understanding so that we can go back and develop that understanding with our staff.
and I
Yep.
guess what I was literally saying was that when this whole thing is like a year's work of PD,
It is.
I'm going to go back to my school, and where do I start from? Because
Yeah.
there's so much we have to unpack.
Yes, there is. And I'm glad you said that. And we had a conversation, a really important conversation down here about that. Sandra and, Susie went back and have worked out, they've used some of the information about fluency to work out a way of how they will work with their staff on that one point. They've contextualised it for themselves. You can't pick up this material and then just transfer it into every school that's here. Yes, it's a massive amount of information for you to dip back into to support you. You may not use some of it. You may use some. You may use an article that we've shared here, but use it differently in your context with your staff. The whole idea is to give you a whole lot of information, hopefully to increase our understandings and our connections about what we're doing and why, so that you can go back and put it into your context over time. You cannot possibly, we're making the PowerPoints available to you, but it isn't a matter of go into your staff room, put up the PowerPoint and talk through it in an hour, because that won't get change of practice. We want change of classroom practice, change of understanding, depth of understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and change of classroom practice, which is the model that has started over here. They've created their own professional learning and how their session is going to go, session 1, session 2, session 3, for their school at their stage of development. An opportunity for all teachers to have discussion, to have input, their engagement and involvement and ownership, and then to go away into classrooms and implement it and have a go, and then to come back and discuss together what worked, what didn't work, Why are we doing it? So that over time you get change of practice and change of understandings. If you just take the PowerPoint and go in, tick the box, oh yes, we went through the PowerPoint, you won't get change of understanding. You won't win the hearts and minds of staff.
Can I just add to that?
Yes,
too,
Sandra,
that
please.
on a practical basis, I don't know if it will help or not. but
Yes.
If you can come up with a term, a strategic plan for the term,
Yeah.
break it into levels, grade levels. What we did, we went into.
Say you chose fluency because it was strategic and useful for your school. You might do one generic professional learning with all of your staff. Then you might follow that up with your prep team, your 1-2 team, your 3-4 team and your 5-6 team, because it needs to look different at each stage.